What's up to all those alone in the zone? It's the scribbler, not to be confused with the riddler. John Eli Lopez, back once again on a mission to get you one step closer to being the king or the queen of the pencil. And today I'll be discussing tips and tricks when using Procreate. If you'd like to follow along, you would need a tablet and the Procreate app. Okay, so let's get started. Tip number one is the color picker. And this is one of my favorites here. Just tap on there and you can pick your color screen. You could choose from disc shaped, classic, harmony, value, different palettes, right? Another cool thing about Procreate is the brush library. You can upload brushes like I uploaded the Nagao series. Um, I'm using the Apple Pencil. That's one of the best stylus I've used, and this is on the iPad Pro. I'm using a tablet glove here, and that allows you to draw on the tablet and don't make any unwanted marks, right? So I settle with the technical pencil, but you have so much options. I went to inking and the technical pencil, and for this particular drawing, and I just went with something I had in my head, and I wanted you guys to just see the process of using Procreate app. This is just a character I had in my head here. We're just sketching it out. You see I put the action line right there in the middle. Right there, I'm going from layer to layer. And you can change the opacity, change the size of the brush. And my sketch layer, I put that at the bottom just so I wouldn't have to erase the lines. And I'm using a brand new layer on top of it. So um, the overall sketch that I did is just a guide at the bottom, which will be deleted. So once I have that, and if you guys are familiar with Photoshop, you are best to close off your shape. Once you close off your shape, it makes it easier to color that shape. So, um, I'm trying to do it here, but I'm sure there will be some shapes that I miss out on. So, this definitely is a quick sketch. And sometimes you get your best work coming out of quick sketch. You just get your characters going. And sometimes with the Procreate, you end up accidentally hitting the eraser, and you go back on the eraser and you think, yeah, why isn't my pencil working? And you realize you're on eraser, right? So you have to be aware of that. Um, and you see the undo button is on the bottom left there. So, it's quick. You make mistakes, you just do a quick undo. And right in the middle of that tool right there is the opacity of the brush, and it's the eyedropper tool. So you could just select colors quickly. When I'm not happy with the line I'm doing, I just do a quick undo. Get my jean pockets in. And the cool thing about Procreate too, when you do a line, you can hold it and it automatically becomes straight. So when you're doing a line, if you want it straight, do not let go of it. Just hold it for a little while and eventually turn straight. So now I'm on the eraser now, just erasing certain parts. You could flip the canvas with your two fingers. Back to the brush. And let me don't call it the brush now because I'm on a technical pen. That's what I started with, but it's a brush symbol. And this is one of my favorite parts about Procreate. It's just grabbing the color and dropping it right into the shape that you did, right? And when you drop the color, you can control how much of it fills the shape just by holding it and sliding right or left to control how much of the shape do you want colored. So some of the shape I did not close off and is going to the background. So I had to undo and, close off the shape. I'm changing the color there. See, like I want his shirt wet, but I didn't close off his shirt area. And that happens sometimes when you're going quick. Wet in his hand. See, it's still going outside of my shape. So I'm moving a little quick, but I'm closing off that shape and going back to the red, and I control how much of that shape I want filled. There we go, because it's going inside the hand. There we go. And on top lets you know how much of that shape you have colored, how far it touches the lines of the shape. Close off the jeans, and there we go. There we go. Close off that belt. There we go. Close that off. Procreate is a fun app to use. Eyedropper, choosing the colors. And if you see when I put it in the visor of the helmet, it went through the whole helmet, but I slid it down and it went right to the visor. So there you go. Keep that in mind. You control how far the color spreads. So that is a fun thing to do. So I created a layer under this, and I'm just, instead of going in and coloring each piece that has some white showing, I'm just under this layer and I'm putting in the color. So familiarizing yourself with layers will definitely help your process if you're not too familiar with layering. And I knew this with my sketch, there will be some white showing, but once you're under that, the main layer, you can cover up that white with the same colors. Just get the ink dropper and you see I'm moving from layer to layer. You're working from the bottom layer. It gives you more freedom, and more control of what you're doing. Tightening up the white that's showing through the eyes there. Now I'm back on top of the main layer and adding some shading. And what's good to do it like this, just in case you need to erase and you want, you know, everything separated. It just makes your life much easier than putting everything all on one layer. And hey, when you're using an app like Procreate, you know, you have the layers to play with, so you might as well play with them and utilize them. So basically, this character is done on three layers: the shading layer, the main layer, and I just made a layer under him to cover up whatever white might have been shown through my original sketch. So keep that in mind. You know, when you're doing your drawing, you don't have to go and try to cover everything tediously. There we go. Uh, get that hatching going. Getting that belt in there. Eyedropper getting the jeans color. Get that gold belt buckle going. He's styling and profiling. Get a little shadow. So you got the shadow and the highlight there. And that is one of my favorite parts, is just dragging that color and dropping it. I think the creators of Procreate knew that that was a unique, fun feature right there. I don't know, something about it is satisfying, just dragging it and dropping it. But I'm just going back and forth. And just want to put a little graffiti there, like he's leaning up on, you know, some old urban area. The hatching, you know, that's just the style I chose to do this particular drawing in. But you know, you have your variety of brushes. Get a little highlight there in the helmet. You have such a variety to play with. So you see, I'm adding some little high shading in his hair. I I've stayed with the same pen this whole time. I'm just changing the size for the outline, getting that a little thick on the outline. Just adding a little wrinkles there on the glove. Yeah, his gloves meet. You know, bunched up. And I'm selecting, I use the select tool and I selected that highlight and I blurred it a bit. This is what I'm doing here. I'm selecting that area and I'm blurring it. I went to the Gaussian blur and you just slide. You just slide it. Slide your pen across to control how much blur you want. I just blurred that highlight area a bit. And there you have it. We are done. Very nice. I tried a different approach. I just tightened it up, added a little highlights, and I did one where just his eyes are open. That's the only thing different I really did. But hope you guys got some value from this video. If you did, change gears on that subscribe button, hit the like, leave a comment. Any feedback is appreciated. So until next time, John Eli Lopez signing out. Y'all be good and be safe.